throughout the period, in the morning, the crowds are not thick at all, but because they've got to go to work, go to school, and then the afternoon, late afternoon, evening, then more and more people will come back. Particularly when they hear the police might be clearing up soon, then they all rush back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Martin, I know you. I've known you for a quarter century. You would not be an advocate of continuing this endlessly. Don't you want the kids to go back? Don't you want them to be comfortable? Many of them slept for 2 weeks on the street, on the dirty asphalt. I mean, it's time, isn't it? Don't you think?
A lot of people of my age have told them and asked them and begged them to go back. But they're not listening because it's their life that they're looking at. It's their future that they're looking at. In fact, I was so surprised to hear somebody who's only 17-year-old, Joshua Wong, saying that he is doing this for the sake of his generation and the next generation. When a kid is saying that,
yeah.
Now it is their fight. So they want something from the government.
But
they want at least a promise from the government that they will move ahead in terms of democracy.
Whose fight is it, though? I mean, nobody's in control. They don't know. I mean, is it scholarism? Is it the Federation? It's not Benny anymore. There are people who say they're not associated with any of them, and this is anarchy now.
But they have been discussing every day, all right? So of course it's not as efficient as the Communist Party. Bang, you go, right? Now, it is a people's movement. You must remember, it's a people's movement. So it's taken a bit of time, but they are in control. And so far, I haven't seen any major mistake made by them. And this is fantastic. These students, they didn't expect that. Everybody in Hong Kong thought the thing will be organized by the so-called Occupy Central trio, right? But an accident happened, and then the people spilled into the streets and stayed there. Now, it is not without control. I mean, it takes a bit slow, it's a bit of time to make up their minds. So they have agreed to clear up that part of, that's Queensway, a very important route. Now it's being cleared.
Okay.
So things are happening.
Martin, you are the founder of the Democratic Party here in Hong Kong. And with international viewers watching, they're probably thinking, don't you, probably above anybody else, want democracy for the people here in Hong Kong? So why are you advocating for these people to go home?
No, I have not asked them to go home, but older people have. See, I share their
What do
views.
you want then? Are you encouraging them to go home?
These students and I have something in common, democracy for Hong Kong, which was promised. We are not asking for anything new. The Chinese government already promised us that we could have democracy in 2007 and 2008. They postponed it once, they postponed it twice, each 5 years, and now when we thought, we're getting it in 2017. They changed the rules of the game.
But if you're telling the students to go home, aren't you kind of giving up the fight?
No, I'm not asking them to go home. Other people have asked them to go home. I'm on the side of the students. The people should be asking the government, why are you not giving the students anything? They won't even talk with them. They walk away.
They're not going to, Martin. I mean, even CY said, yesterday in the morning, the Sunday talk show, that they have zero chance, essentially zero chances. What about moving this from the street and physical protest to moving it to the digital era, doing it online, doing it through writing campaigns, doing it as part of the balloting process? Civil disobedience at the ballot box instead.
Now, at the ballot box. But when the ballot box doesn't give you fair election, when you have one
Cross
person...
it out and write in,
No.
write in somebody Hong Kong people want.
Well, all right, then it's a wasted vote. You see, at the moment, you have one person, one vote in 2017 for the election of chief executive, but Beijing picks all the candidates. That's a problem. That's why we are not. We won't accept that. Now, surely the big business people should be on the side of the students, because they want the rule of law, don't they? Right? They want availability of information and transparency and all that.
But they also want the roads back to normal. They want businesses to reopen.
They won't dare confront Beijing.
They want to be able to use Hong Kong as a financial hub in the future.
As a short term, yes, the students should all go home. And then what? And then we have no democracy, and the rule of law is going down. The judges are now told by Beijing they must take care of China's interests too in adjudicating cases.
All right.
Now, so for the long term, we need democracy to protect our rule of law, to preserve our freedoms for all. Now, surely, if you take the long term, the big business should be on the side of the students.